Let's look at a question related to notes payable. Zipline Limited borrowed $40,000 on November 1st, 2020 by signing a $40,000 3-month 9% note. Prepare Zipline's November 1st, 2020 entry, the December 31st, 2020 annual adjusting entry, and the February 1st, 2021 entry. Round amounts to the nearest dollar. Okay, let's make a quick timeline here. So we've got November 1st. So Zipline is going to issue a $40,000 note. And it's a 3-month note. So we've got November, December, January, and then we've got February here at the end. So it's a $40,000 note and it's a 3-month note. So you can see we've got month 1, 2, and 3. And it's going to pay interest at 9%. So we know that here we're going to have to pay 9% interest. Okay, and so we're asked to prepare the journal entry for November 1st, the December 31st adjusting entry, and the February 1st, 2021 entry. So this is February 1st. Okay, so what happens on November 1st? Well, on November 1st, Zipline is going to borrow $40,000. So they're going to issue a $40,000 note. It's a weird looking comma. So they're going to have debit, cash, which is the whole point of issuing the note, and credit, notes payable. So they're going to set up this note on their statement of financial position, and this is clearly for $40,000. Right, we're done November 1st. What happens on December 31st? Well, we know that at February 1st, what's going to happen is they're going to have to pay back the $40,000 note, and the interest is due on February 1st. So December 31st, no interest is due, but we always need to make sure that we're accruing the interest on notes payable for the financial year. So presumably December 31st is Zipline's financial year end, so they need to accrue the interest that is related to 2020. So we've got November and December that we need to recognize interest for, and we're not going to debit it or credit it to cash because this isn't a cash payment. It's simply accruing the interest payable. So how much are we going to record? Well, we know we've got a $40,000 note, and it's going to be at 9%. But we need to remember 9% is an annual interest rate. So we need to adjust it for the period of time out of 12. The denominator here is 12 because this is an annual interest rate. And we've got 2 months here that we need to accrue the interest for. So that's going to give us $600. So our journal entry here is going to be debit interest expense. And this is going to go right through our income statement. And then we're going to have credit interest payable. And this is going to be a short-term liability on our statement of financial position because we're going to need to pay this out February 1st. Okay, so now we've accrued the interest, we've got the cash. And the last entry that we're asked to prepare is the February 1st entry. And this is the maturity of the note. So what's going to happen at the maturity? Well, we know we're going to have to debit the notes payable because we set that up here as a credit, so we need to remove it from our statement of financial position. We know we're going to need to clear out our interest payable. We're going to need to have some sort of a debit to interest payable to remove that. Interest payable, not expense. The expense doesn't change, only the payable changes. And then we're going to have a credit to cash. And we also need to make sure when we look up at our timeline, we realize we haven't recognized the interest for this period yet. We need to make sure we've got all 3 months of interest going through our income statement. So we're going to need to have a debit to interest expense for the month of January, which is going to be $40,000 times 9% times 1 over 12, because it's 1 month now, which is going to be $300. So we're going to have a debit here to interest expense of $300. We're clearing out our interest payable of $600. We've got notes payable of $40,000. So the cash that we're going to need to remit is the sum of the $40,000 plus the $300 and the $600. So we've got $40,900. And that concludes all the entries that need to be recorded for Zipline's notes payable. We'll take a look at another video related to notes payable in the next section.